And what the drivers say they fear most of all is a head-on collision with a blind tube mare.
Personally, I think the management should round them up. Get rid of them.
What's up, YouTube? Hello. Jim Jefferies 4, quite literally. I'm not going to say very much. In fact, I'm tempted just to literally dive right in. So let's do that.
God doesn't like homosexuals. And I don't hate gay people, I'm pro-gay people, man. I protested for gay marriage. I believe very strongly in gay marriage. I believe if you're a person who's watching this special right now and you don't believe in gay marriage, turn it off, you're a fucking dickhead, I don't want anything to do with it. Now, and my reasoning is so simple, right? If you don't believe in gay marriage, you're a dickhead because it's got nothing to fucking do with you, right? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who loves who or who wants to be with who. It's none of your fucking business. None of your fucking business. If you hate gay marriage, you know what you should do? Don't marry a gay person. That'll be your little way of getting around it. That'll fucking show the gays, eh? I like to be gay. It'll fucking suit me. I studied musical theatre at university. I'm wearing leather without a shirt underneath. I would love to be gay. I'll tell you why, because I'm a man's man. I like men. Men like me. We like each other. I hate women. Women hate me. We hate each other. The only reason I couldn't be gay is because I could never fuck a man. Because I could never fuck something that I respect.
So wrong on so many levels.
That's a good fucking joke, eh? That's a good joke. You know what, that joke's what I call an awkward car ride home. You know how many men are going to be driving home with their girlfriends or wives this evening and they have to do this one? They're going to go, what joke? Oh, I don't remember that joke. I laughed at it. Me. That doesn't sound like me. You're saying I stood up and clapped. I was probably laughing about the joke before it, where God hated homosexuals. How did I know that that joke was before it if I didn't know that this joke even existed? Your mother's a cunt. Let's tell some stories. Now, this first story, the first bit of this story you should already know. In the same way that you know things like, don't kill people, try not to rape. When you're on an airplane, there's a thing called plane etiquette, and it goes like this. Window gets an armrest and a wall. Middle gets 2 armrests. Aisle gets an armrest and a little bit of extra leg. We're not fucking animals, we live in a society. So I was on a flight from Los Angeles to Houston and I had the middle seat and that sucks balls. So I'm sitting there with my 2 armrests. Next to me is a petite young lady, she's doing her job, armrest wall, I'm in the middle, 2 armrests. Sitting next to me here is a great big black man who's as gay as the day is long. He sits down next to me and we do the niceties. Hello, hello. And then with no issue whatsoever, he sees my elbow there and he just went, chock. And I went, no, I'm pretty upset, but he's a big fucking guy and it's a long flight, so there's no need to get into an argument. So I have that argument that you have in your head where the other person doesn't know you're having an argument. Where you're like, you're a fucking asshole. And if you said this, then I would say, well, good sir, I think you're mistaken, right? So I sit there festering for like 45 minutes, and eventually the air stewardess comes with a drink cart. Now, why I'm on air stewardesses, right? Whenever you watch a movie set in the 60s and they show air stewardesses, or an old TV show, they'd show like Pam Am or something, they always depict air stewardesses as these hot young things with a pillbox hat and a little bun and big tits and a small waist and holding a bag going, like that. I don't think any of those women have retired. This thing was just being propped up by the drink card. 50 years of recycled air had made her skin drip off her skull like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. She comes up, the guy reaches over for his drink and his pretzels, armrest open, bang, I'm back in. And I'm not fucking going anywhere either. He puts all of his things down in his tray and he goes to put his elbow back, but he fucking can't, can he? He can't, because there's a wall there called Jim Jefferies and he can't fucking move it, right? And he's pushing, and I'm acting like I can't feel it, like this, but casual like. Then he gets his fist like this and his hand like that and he's pushing really hard back. And I'm trying to do that casual. But he's much bigger than me and eventually I have to give in. I just went chock. So I turned to him and said what needed to be said. Why are you such a cunt? Now I understand that word in this country isn't as popular as maybe it should be. People were freaking the fuck out. They were going, he did, he just said it, I heard him say it. Called that man a C-bomb, I heard him say it, Bob. Called the man a C-bomb, Bob. And he was shocked as well. He turned to me and went, excuse me, what did you just call me? But in for a penny, in for a pound, right? And I was there going, a cunt, sir. I called you a cunt. And he said, are you upset because you're trying to take my armrest? And I went, you don't know plain etiquette. Window gets an armrest and a wall. Middle gets two armrests. Aisle gets an armrest and a little bit of extra leg. We're not fucking animals. We live in a society. And the people that initially hated me agreed with me like, he is right about that. That is true. That is true. We do live in a society. And he went, oh, I'm only taking the back of the armrest. You can have the rest of the armrest. And I went, you take the back, you take the whole fucking thing. No one gives a fuck about the front of the armrest. No one's ever gone, thanks for the front of the armrest. I said, it's not just that you're taking my armrest. Your elbow has come over the armrest and it's digging into my rib cage. And he said, well, maybe if you lost some weight. I know. I was gobsmacked. I didn't know what to fucking say. I just turned to him and went, you bitchy queen. Now everyone on the plane has lost their fucking shit. The movie can fuck off, mate. No one's watching the fucking movie. I'm the entertainment now. The air stewardess comes running back on her walker. She comes up to us and she goes, what's going on here? And I said, I want this fucking asshole away from me. And she said, sir, this is not the situation to be swearing in. And I went, yes, it is. We're having a fight. And she went, well, there's no need for name calling. I called the guy a bitchy queen, so I sort of get what she's saying. And I turned to her and said, you know what? You're right. There is never a need for name calling. But as a proud gay man myself, I feel like I've earned the right to say such words, so. She apologized. The gay guy knows I'm fucking lying. He's fagging the fuck out, just. And the air said, can everyone calm down? What's the problem here? And he went, he's trying to take my armrest. And the air stewardess went, everyone knows the middle gets two armrests. And I went, see? She goes, I'm gonna have to break you two up. And she points to the man and said, sir, you're going to have to find a seat at the back of the plane. I'm victorious. I stand up. I bash my head on the thing. I point at the man and I went, get to the back of the plane. Now, a lot of people on that plane hadn't seen the rest of the argument. All they have seen is me pointing at a black man, yelling, get to the back of the plane. Things got real awkward real fucking quick. I didn't know what I'd done yet. People were yelling at me, calling me a racist, and I was like, I know, but how do you know? Then a guy threw a bag of peanuts at the back of my head and said, sit down, you limey bastard. And I was like, that's the British. I'm Australian, you fucking racist. Which would have made a lot of sense if being British or Australian was a race and not a nationality. But at that stage, I was clutching at straws, really. So I go sit back down in his old chair. We got the empty seat between us. Me and the girl pounded out. Now, later on the flight, I'm walking up the back of the plane to the toilet. And I want to see the guy, because I want to go. And I get all the way to the back of the plane. I don't see him anywhere. I'm about to go in the toilet. And then I see his leg around the corner. There were no more seats. This is a full flight. He's sitting in the air stewardess's landing seat that folds down with a seatbelt over the top like he's in a fucking go-kart. I put my head around the corner. I went, no armrest here, dickhead. And the air stewardess went, you get back to your seat. And I ran away like a child, like. So, for landing, I go sit back down in his old seat. Now, the air stewardess seat is taken. So she's taking my old seat in the middle, and she fucking hates me. And I'm taking both armrests, fuck her. And as we're landing, the guy over the aisle leans over and goes, excuse me, you're Jim Jefferies, right? And I'm like, yeah, man, how you doing? And he went, I had no idea you were gay. Fucking yeah, man. I like cock. I threaten any like fucking techno DJ guy who's watching this special to make some song out of I hate faggots, I like cock. I hate faggots, I like cock.
Yeah. Great stuff. I had a friend actually years ago from Halifax. Hello, Tom. He reminds me a lot of Jim Jefferies. He from Halifax. He's not different accent, obviously, but he used to come in the morning and he'd be standing there with a fag, and because we used to both smoke, and he'd say, "Hello, old cunt." And Jim reminded me of him when he was doing that bit. Brilliant stuff. Great acting again. Even the little bit in the car with, the what was it, silent drive home or the long drive home. Even that, it's amazing, isn't it, how facial expressions can be so funny. And I always find it surprising that these things are often done in massive theatres. But you can even sitting at the back there, you can obviously get it, from such a distance. And there's all the gay stuff and sort of race type stuff, which is interesting. I suppose my main thought on the gay stuff is, I've got friends who are gay and had friends who are gay, and I had a good friend at drama school. I was at drama school, very much like Jim. In fact, that's another thing. It's funny seeing Jim doing camp acting. But my friend who was gay, we would laugh and joke and, hello, darling. Oh, lovely. And do all the camp stuff. I think if it's a joke, it's okay. Sort of, I suppose. That's not really quite right, because you could be homophobic and just be laughing at the gay person. That would be a bit offensive, wouldn't it? Be a bit triggered, wouldn't you, by that? But and it's like also with the race stuff, and as a big black man and going to the back of the plane. It's quite a good, clever little bit there. I mean, I've been to Africa a couple of times, and there's no concept of political correctness there. People basically, I mean, I would be very often the only white person either in the entire town, the entire village, not in the entire country, but certainly not in Nigeria. There's 270 million people. You know, and they'll just shout, "Hey, white man, Mzungu," as you walk down the street and stuff. And they'll be sort of laughing as they say it. And I tell you what it's like. It's a bit like with kids. There's a difference between just saying, "Oh, fucking hell," or saying it as a joke, and saying, "Fuck you," to your dad or something. That obviously you'd be very angry at. But so I suppose it's just context, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Just cut it short. Thank you. So great section. On to part 5. I think there's going to be 2 more parts probably. And don't nobody go nowhere.
And in a statement issued just 10 minutes ago, the Home Secretary announced that he personally will be going into the tunnels this weekend, armed with a special gun.